All the fragments that were given to me have been placed. Does this mean there's a missing piece of bone? In any case, the skull can't be fully put together in this state. Unless the missing section is found, there's nothing more that can be done to this skull. It's a bloodstain. Could it belong to this individual? If it was caused by physical trauma, then there's something unusual about it. That would be... Yes. There's no damage to the clothing. Either there's a reason why, or this blood didn't come from this person. The missing area of skull is the section from the mental tubercle to the angle. Chloe had swallowed pieces of human bone. Don't tell me. So it was like I'd thought. After Chloe swallowed the bone fragments, the mysterious foci appeared in her body. There's something in this bone, some kind of pathogen.
Oh, Dr. Kimishima, that man came by a moment ago.
That man? Who are you talking about?
The, friendly guy. He said something about having finished reconstructing the body.
Ah, you mean Gabe. All right, now we can observe the corpse as a whole.
I've gone ahead and put the skull with the rest of the skeleton. You can look at them whenever you like.
Good, you're on top of things. Can you tell me what you've observed from it?
Oh, right. There wasn't much to get from the body, though. The person was roughly 185 centimeters tall. A histologic examination of the bone detected 15 types of amino acids remaining. There was also a very high concentration of nitrogen. I've sent the results of the analysis to your computer. Please check it out when you need to.
Good, I'll look into it. It's possible to examine the body now, too. I need this bone analyzed, little guy. Be careful with it. There's a danger of infection.
Lo, can you warn me a little sooner next time? Give me a moment, please. Let's see here.
Well, did you find anything?
No. I've checked it out, but there's nothing especially unusual about it.
Is that so?
What's so odd about that?
This is the bone that Chloe swallowed. When she did, the same black focus that the patients in the quarantine zone had showed up inside her body. According to what Gabe said, the serviceman who had been investigating this bone... So, in other words, the pathogen lurking in this bone is... Right. This bone carries a virus that triggers the hemorrhagic fever.
A virus? But this is just a skeleton. A virus requires living cells from its host in order to multiply. So, this virus not only survives the host's death, but can continue within a skeletonized corpse.
Can you really say that such a thing is impossible?
But...
That's not like you. Calm down, little guy. Everything we've seen up until now has taught us something. That there are diseases out there in the world. that defy all our understanding and what we think of as common sense.
All right. Let's assume that it is a virus. That doesn't mean that all the mysteries have been solved. How does this virus live inside this skeleton? And why aren't we infected with the hemorrhagic fever after we've handled the bones?
I really can't say at this point. It's possible this person was infected with the virus. Or perhaps the skeleton had been contaminated after death. In any case, we'll need to continue investigating this in more detail.
Right.
However, I can explain why you and I haven't contracted the hemorrhagic fever.
What? How?
Well, according to what Gabe was told by the assistant secretary, that's right. They concluded that an airborne infection was impossible. This was because the infection wasn't spreading within New Samarid. If that's the case, it's unlikely that the virus is dispersed through a respiratory vector.
Then how does it spread?
Well, in Chloe's case, the foci were located in areas where... Indeed. The black foci only existed in areas that the bone fragments were in contact with. Taking that into consideration, this virus's route of infection is... concentrate. Yes. In other words, the virus only has a limited means of transmission.
I see. That explains the cat's case, at least. But what about the Usamrid researcher? I highly doubt that he'd be chewing on bones.
Good point. There must be an explanation for how that other serviceman was infected as well. Little guy, I need you to analyze something.
Of course. Is this a bloodstain?
Right. I need you to check the skeleton's DNA and see if that blood came from the same person.
Ah, no problem. Give me a moment.
Do you have the results yet, little guy?